beautiful looking butterflies. If my God is supreme, what good am I to him? What help do you think he needs from me? And what good does it do for me, wasting away my life attending him like one tends on a toddler who constantly needs its diapers changed? So I titled this The Exercise of the Sit and Stand 5 times a day. You remember it, yeah. Yeah. So that is a true fan, guys, who buys my books too. So it's just FYI. Yeah. So this poem is called So Many Rapists. I turn on the news and there's a rape case being discussed. I flip the channel and a crying victim of marital rape is being interviewed by an uninterested dude. I don't know if I should celebrate that finally rape is being discussed out in the open or mourn the fact that people still are being raped. Kind looking folks, educated middle aged men, school teachers, old bosses overdosed on power, preachers in the church, husbands of pretty girls, grandfathers, uncles and aunties, so many rapists. So this is about a conversation I had with my dad. This nobody's streaming it live, right? You're not. Can I get a phone? You're not, right? So yeah. So I can just read it out for you guys. "Men don't cry," exclaims my father in a stern macho voice. I am 11 years old, and there is nothing I know to do best than run to the corner and weep for hours at our ancestral pride. Brine runs in the blood of men in my family. Tears dig tunnels and sweat out through their shirts. I'm touching 30 now, and I have seen my father fight away his life. He was right. He was so right. Men don't cry. They just pickle their hearts and die. Ooh. And the conversation I've had with my dad in my head. So I titled this Some Conversations I Have in My Head with My Father. If you get bored about me speaking about my father and my relationship, just let me know. Okay, I'll talk about sex again. I've got a lot of poems about.
Half of your book is written about you.
I am young. So she's just teasing me. It's okay. I am young, but I'm getting there. The yellow leaf is going to be upon me. Don't expect a laughter or something like that, right? This is a very serious point now. I am young and I'm getting there. The yellow leaf is going to be upon me, and often I ponder on the discrepancies age brings to the table every time we give it undue weight. Frail and unjust, and all the negative connotations but one: wisdom. I have 35 more years of experience about life, he says. I have lived 35 years more than you. But have you seen more, I say? Have you experienced more, I ask? Can't you see that you have lived the same 1 year 35 times over? Age is just a number, he digresses. And I let him. I let him move to a new topic. I have nothing more to add anyway, and him, I guess, he has a lot of living to do. But then again, I am young, and soon the yellow leaf will be upon me. And I just hope when that happens, I would have had the courage to have lived. Yeah, so this next poem is like a really nice poem, but she wants to recite it and she has like warned me against it. So we will hear it from her later on, I guess. Yeah. Let me just move on from there. Yeah. Yeah. So this is a poem about young love. Young love. So it is about how we feel when we are young and how we don't understand it, but we still feel like we are like really in love. So I'm just asking for some time from my lover in this poem, and I say, just give me some time until I understand what the fuck love is, basically. I will embrace you like an apology, and you will swallow me whole like a pill, and we will build homes out of this. Empty promises for bricks, a handful of forevers for walls, and a garden full of cacti called hope to cut ourselves with when we feel the urge to be loved. We will play this drunken stopper called love like a game and keep winning. We'll trample on the jasmines as we dance. We will kill all the roses as we bloom. And our youth will teach us things we wish we didn't need. Lover, we will learn how to lose. Stay. Just stay. Until we learn how to lose. So this is like another weird observation I had about childhood. I have a nephew called Adam, and I am not jealous of him. Just to make that very clear, I love him like to the core, to my skeleton. But then I notice how people just shower him with so much love, and this, I was just thinking about it. कि भाई ये इतना खुश क्यों है यार? ऐसा क्या हो गया? That's the beauty of childhood. You have people who, for some mysterious reason, are ready to die for you. And you ask me why children are so happy all the time? They have love to gulp, to eat, to waste. So much of it. So bloody much of it. And I repeat, I'm not jealous of my nephew. I love him to death. Yeah. So this was a poem. Once I was just sitting there and thinking about how do we see ourselves. Sometimes we think we have to stand in front of a mirror, open our eyes and see ourselves. And then Rumi comes and he says, close your eyes and see yourselves. So this is a poem about that. Yeah. And also, this also takes into consideration the fact that I am an artist poet. Don't forget that. Yeah. I am not a treasure or a work of art or an ocean of light. I know not if I need to close my eyes or open them in order to see myself. But what I know is this: even the rising sun is a dying star. And all of us, याद किया तूने? ये किताब याद करके इसे सुन लो. All of us deserve to be loved equally. So people generally taunt you when they say कि भाई तू तो पत्थर हो गया यार, तेरा दिल तो पत्थर हो गया, तू बदल गया यार. So yeah, she can relate. सब ठीक हो जाएगा, okay?
ठीक नहीं करना.
अच्छा, उसको ठीक नहीं करना, okay. So there will be a bhangra performance later on, which Shilpa will be giving.
We'll all be a part of it.
Yeah. So this is a small observation again. It's basically a taunt I'm giving to people who say कि तेरा दिल तो भाई पत्थर हो गया. That stone, they tell you, your heart has turned into. Tell them. That's the weight of all your sufferings. So this is a poem about the day I stopped praying. Serious बात है यार. Hold my hand. I wanted to tell the universe. Comfort me. There were rosemary shrubs growing in my garden, and according to my mother, they were going to bring me luck. but all my roses were dying. Seemed like I had swallowed all the bees. How could a day like this be lucky? Hold my hand. I finally mustered up some courage and asked the universe. And all the universe ever did was spit my wishes back at me. So I wanted to read this poem. This has like a really good punchline at the end of it, which says like two lovers kissing for the last time. But
Why are you telling me?
but then this poem has the word chaos in this, so I reject chaos now. It is out of principle. So let's not read this. This is a poem about depression. When it first hit me, it was like going from a fairy tale to sitting in a dark room, scared and confused. This is not my best. I always want to write a poem about depression. I don't know why, but I can never do that somehow. So चाहिए मतलब I guess पूरा मिला नहीं अभी मुझे काम ना, right? Yeah.
अभी
So
शादी नहीं हुई है
that is
और
like
उसके बाद बच्चे नहीं हुए और
that-
उसके बाद बच्चे टीनेजर नहीं हुए
that is like 3 books later, I guess.
many books to come
Right. So this is what we had to do with now about depression. अब किताब में चाहिए था ना, मेरा publisher मार देता मुझे, depression चाहिए होता है उसको. When it first hit me, it was like going from a fairy tale to sitting in a dark room, scared and confused, choking on something I knew nothing about, for reasons I could not comprehend. One day my therapist compared it to drowning. The first question that popped into my head: if it were like drowning, why didn't I flail my arms for decades? Why calling for help didn't come to me even as an afterthought? For years, doing nothing, absolutely nothing, and just trying to get comfortable with it. I guess that's depression.